Well, Donald Trump is speaking in Tucson, Arizona, and the whole first portion of the speech is just him complaining about how the debate went, trying to pretend that he had this wonderful victory, but also including in his argument all the reasons, without saying this explicitly, that it went so badly for him. So let's tune in and check out this part.
ABC and CBS. She went over to ABC, which in my opinion has taken a big hit because these two people were bad news. They kept screaming at me. I said, "Why are you screaming?" I'm saying to myself, I'm looking at,
What was that? I'm saying to myself.
Screaming at me. I said, "Why are you screaming?" I'm saying to myself, I'm looking at
I'm saying to myself.
I always liked him. I'm not going to watch him anymore. I'm not going to watch him because he's not legit. What he did, I'm not going to watch him. And his hair's not as good as it used to be, you know? Kamala should focus on what she...
Interesting. I think his hair just may be slightly better than yours. Before getting on to other clips from the same speech, the yelling he's talking about is... He's saying the moderators were yelling at him. But you'll see in this clip an example of the moderators never even raised their tone with him or raised their volume, but Trump would start screaming.
Is there anything you regret about what you did on that day?
You just said a thing that isn't covered. Peacefully and patriotically, I said during my speech, not later on. Peacefully and patriotically. And nobody on the other side was killed. Ashley Babbitt was shot by an out-of-control police officer that should have never, ever shot her. It's a disgrace. But we didn't do this group of people that have been treated so badly. I ask, what about all the people that are pouring into our country and killing people that she allowed to pour in? She was the border czar, remember?
So he's the one yelling. Let's see if we can get to a moderator response. Here's the yelling from moderators.
You were the president. You were watching it unfold on television. It's a very simple question as we move forward toward another election. Is there anything you...
Yeah, so, and then ask the follow-up question. But that's not yelling, Trump. It may have felt like such a crisis that everything just felt out of control in your head, but they were saying very, very calm. He does call the moderators lowlifes during this meltdown of a speech.
The two anchors, David Muir and Lindsay Davis, sat there and only corrected me on things where I was right, but didn't correct Kamala on Project 25 that I knew nothing about, on the bloodbath hoax that has been totally debunked, which had to do with the automobile industry that is going to be dying. It's dying under this administration. They're all going to be shipped out to China.
And the same nonsense there. I clicked on the wrong link, though, so let me see if I can get you the lowlife quote that I was referring to. Here we go.
With the guns, with the fracking, with everything we mentioned. She had many years of tapes, but the public was not fooled. They saw right through it. Kamala's lies and unprecedented partisan interference of two lowlife anchors. They're lowlifes. For them to do what they did, and they wouldn't correct her on like Project 25. I don't know what the hell it is. I purposely have not read it.
Yeah, and on to that, despite all the connections between Trump and the authors of Project 2025 and the chief author saying that, oh no, we're on good terms with Trump and he knows what's going on, but this is just a political thing he has to do. And then he did say that, again, just think about how sad this is. Going out, really holding a whole event so that he can complain about how bad the debate went for him, and he can be cheered on when he says it was a victory.
Wow. As everyone saw 2 nights ago, we had a monumental victory over Comrade Kamala Harris in the presidential debate.
Is that what we all saw? Because even the guy who's practically your running mate now, who endorsed you, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., had to go on Fox News and admit it was not your night. If you haven't already and want to support us on our race to 1 million subscribers, you can do it by clicking that subscribe button below. Easy, free, simple. It makes all the difference. Back to the video. He said this about Kamala Harris.
No, she made it up. She's a liar. She doesn't work at McDonald's. She said she worked at McDonald's, right? Right? She worked at McDonald's and she was working so hard. There's only one problem. She didn't work at McDonald's. She's a liar. Liar.
Except for that she did. They started getting all wound up about her. Oh, she must have lied because on a resume for... Now I'm blanking on what the resume was, what the application was for. But something like when she was originally applying to work in the prosecutor's office or something. And your job history at McDonald's isn't a relevant part to put on that application. And so then they said because she didn't cite that she worked at McDonald's when she was, what was the story, in college or something, that it must have been a lie. Or that's not a relevant position to the one she was applying to as a lawyer, which makes a lot of sense. Then you have this.
But when a prize fighter loses a fight, you've seen a lot of fights, right? The first words out of that fighter's mouth is, I want a rematch. I want a rematch. And that's what she said, I want a rematch. Polls clearly show that I won the debate against Comrade Kamala Harris.
Yeah, so we've already talked quite a bit about the polls he's citing, which is Newsmax or a right-wing outlet just surveying their social media followers. Who do you think? That's not... Okay. I actually don't even think we should... I want him... I'll put it this way. I want him to believe it went well for him, so he'll do another one. Right? And so if he thinks Harris wants to do another because she thinks she lost, whatever, just do another. The unfortunate thing is he did make this announcement in Tucson.
That I can tell you. So because we've done 2 debates and because they were successful, there will be no third debate.
And that's the big announcement from the speech, I guess. He complains, and wraps up the complaints with, there's not going to be a third debate. He'll say all sorts of things over the coming weeks as to why he's not going to do a third debate with Harris. Maybe he'll change his mind, but we know why. He's scared that that will happen again. And probably it would, because he has no control over himself. He can't prevent himself from lying like he does, losing it whenever she pokes at him. And he is not effective enough in that setting to do another one. And for him, that's a sad, sad state of affairs. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Support the show by clicking the join button below and donate to Kamala Harris by clicking the link in the description of this video.